Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Now Montgomery running right. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Now it's Fields. Buying time to his left. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Anderson. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2nd down at 7.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now Anderson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
From the 24, Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now Anderson off the play fake. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the gun on third down. Anderson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick missed. No good. Way wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Back to throw, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Fayasade and Orkin. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Anderson now looking to throw on second. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Eddie Goldman in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, Anderson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Blankenship's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fields now to throw. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and the lead grows to 10-0. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now a handoff looking right. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Anderson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Anderson throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, and it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off around the 37, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Anderson airing it out, looking for Ridley. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Fields. Oh, twisting away. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, Fields. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
This one swung out to Montgomery. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Fields throwing again. That's caught by Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 3rd and 2, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 27. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these 2 coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaud.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
To throw is Anderson. To throw on second down. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. Call it a gain of a yard, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Anderson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
They're going to try and throw. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left.
And now here is another interception. Picked off right around the 43. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Here's Cohen now to return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To the air again, Fields. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 39 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Fields. Flushed out right. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. Second down coming up. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Fields. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Now the point after try for Santos. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Anderson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control break down and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Draymond Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. Caught by Montgomery. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And that is no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They caught a break with that missed field goal. Instead of being tied, they now sit in the fourth quarter driver's seat, still up 3. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop it behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. As they run the counter play. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Now Anderson. Eluding the pressure right. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. "47-yard punt, a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. And a gain of 4 gets them right to the midfield stripe.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the 50, here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. The 20. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Fields. Man open, here is Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Fields throw taken in there by Crowder. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Anderson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A gain of 27 on the play. And the Falcon 1st down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now they try the right side here. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that miss should just about right have finished to this one.
Yeah, they needed 2 scores, and they needed that field goal there to be the first one and still give them an opportunity. But now, with the time left on the clock, I think this one's about finished.
Dancing to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. He's going to let it fly. They've got his man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Going for it all. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Atlanta, they moved to 7-9 on the year with the win.